Doesn't it feel great to be alive? Heat! And boy, does it feel great to be alive on a Hump Day Jackie Robinson Day as me, or a Chicago Cub baseball fan, or what? What is up, Chicago Cub YouTube baseball fans? Hope all you guys are having a great Hump Day and Jackie Robinson Day as well, guys. By the way, happy beloved Jackie Robinson Day. One of the most lovely, iconic days, special days on the baseball calendar. Definitely a great day, as you know. Today we honor, we celebrate, and remember the career, the legendary Jackie Robinson. It was on this day over 40 years ago. Yeah, it was on this day that Jackie Robinson made history in Major League Baseball by making his MLB debut for the Brooklyn Dodgers, guys. And all these years later, we honor, we remember, and we celebrate the legacy of none other than Jackie Robinson, guys. And I'm extra excited because it's not just one of my favorite days on the baseball calendar, but I have some very exciting news on my brother Casey. I bet some of you already know what I'm going to say, guys, but yeah, I gotta get into it. All right, guys, as of 9:45 Eastern Time last night, the AAA of the Chicago Cubs made a roster announcement, and it had to do with that guy right there. None other than Casey Opitz. Casey Opitz, guys, was assigned to start the 2026 season in Des Moines, Iowa with the Iowa Cubbies. He was placed on the developmental list, which is like the practice squad for the AAA Iowa Cubs, guys. And for at least the first 2 weeks of the 2026 Iowa Cubs season, all my brother Casey did was be on the practice squad, learning how to catch better, learning how to frame better, learning even how to play some other positions. He was practicing a little bit of first base. He was practicing a little bit on how to frame strikes that are below the strike zone or below the knees. He was also working on his hitting because last season in Double-A Knoxville, Casey had a strikeout rate of 68.4 of his at-bats last year with the Double-A Knoxville Smokies. He was actually very lucky to begin the season in AAA Iowa. The only time in his minor league career with the Chicago Cubs that he even was in an Iowa Cubs uniform came 4 months after he was drafted by the Chicago Cubs. He would end up getting drafted by the Cubbies back in 2021 and found out by the end of August that year and beginning of September, he was going to AAA Iowa. He was with the Cubs, the Iowa Cubbies, for the last 2 weeks of the 2021 season. And during those last 2 weeks, he only started 1 game and only had 6 at-bats and only got on base 1 time. So he really definitely got a great experience during his stint with the Iowa Cubbies in 2021. But since then, hasn't been at Principal Park, hasn't been an Iowa Cub, guys. And like I said, 9:30 Eastern last night, in Columbus, Ohio, my younger brother Casey found out that he was being activated on the Iowa Cubs roster, which brings me to the breaking news on the Iowa Cubs. Earlier tonight in Columbus, Ohio. My brother Casey was not just entering his first day as an Iowa Cub, he was making his 2026 Iowa Cubs debut, batting 8th for the Iowa Cubs and catching behind the plate. So you definitely gotta ask, well, how did he do? Well, guys, I am pleased to announce, guys, that my brother had 4 at-bats in his in the game tonight. Columbus was really aggressive throughout the game. They ended up attempting to steal bases 6 times. They were successful 4 out of 6 times. And unfortunately, Casey did make a throwing error on one of those. But I'm not really mad about that. You know, you get those nervous jitters going on, and it's just, you know, the heat of the moment, the excitement, and all that. Everybody in the family very, very excited. We were wondering if he was going to be having his first at bat as a minor leaguer this year, and it would not be with the Iowa Cubbies, and instead it was, Casey found out at 3 o'clock this morning in the hotel room in Columbus that he was actually going to be in the lineup later tonight, and he got the text by Iowa Cubs manager Marty Peavy, guys. So a very, routine day in Columbus, but a very special day for us and all that. So I thought I would talk to you guys on how his Iowa Cubs debut went. And he makes his Iowa Cubs debut on Jackie Robinson Day. And in Columbus tonight, the Iowa Cubs were not wearing 42, but the Columbus Clippers were. They are the AAA of the Cleveland Guardians. They wore Jackie Robinson Day jerseys and hats for tonight's ball game in honor of the late, great Jackie Robinson, guys. And now, guys, it is my pleasure to let you guys know the question you have probably been asking. How did Casey Opitz do in his Iowa Cubs debut? All right, guys, so like I said, batting 8th on Jackie Robinson Day for the Iowa Cubbies was none other than Casey Opitz, guys. Very great. The very first at bat he had was BAM! It was a RBI double, a 2-run RBI double, guys. He actually would be able to hit a changeup on the inside part of the plate, guys. And what I find very exciting about that, guys, is during Casey's minor league career, when he has gotten any pitches on the inside that are a strike call, he has only been batting a 107. Very, very bad struggles for Casey on the inside part of the plate throughout his minor league career. When he was in college at the University of Arkansas, guys, that was something he did not get a lot, if you know what I mean. When he was actually playing at the University of Arkansas, guys, he was really getting balls high and low and outside, but the inside he never really got. And that's why he really started seeing that when he hit the minor leagues with the Cubbies, guys. And the one thing he's always wanted to improve on is hitting inside pitches. He was able to drive the bat very small. So he's batting, and he was able to drive the bat out like this. The ball would go down the right field line. That would be a 2-run RBI double, guys. And the night just got started for him there, guys. Casey would come around and score. But the one thing Casey did not expect, guys, and this is actually the huge, bigger moment, guys, is actually what is crazy is the very next at bat he didn't get a pitch inside. He got a 98-mile-an-hour fastball on the upper part of the plate. It was out. It was a ball by that much. You think that's a lot, but it really isn't. And he was able to make contact with it and drive it off the wall, guys. My brother Casey would end his Iowa Cubs debut with 2 hits, but you know what? Those 2 hits and a 3 RBI game, unfortunately, were not enough for the Iowa Cubbies. The Iowa Cubs, despite them having a great performance by Casey Opitz, would drop the game on Jackie Robinson Day. If you don't know what I mean by that, unfortunately, the Iowa Cubs were not able to fly the W in Columbus tonight, guys, but a very, very big excitement. I did not find out until around 1:30 this afternoon when I got the call that he was going to be in the lineup, guys. And a cool moment, and if you guys don't know, I was asked if I knew Casey's roommate in Iowa, and I do. And, you know, the Iowa Cubs on Columbus, guys, through Sunday, Casey's roommate is Christian Bettencourt. If you don't remember that name, 2 years ago when Yan Gomes was released by the Cubbies, they got Christian Bettencourt to replace him. Last year, Christian Bettencourt played in AAA Buffalo, the AAA affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays. That is Casey's roommate for this road trip. And if you want a little sneak peek on how they do things with Iowa, the players don't get to choose their own roommate. And so that's it. But yeah, guys, very, very exciting for us. We watched the game tonight, and we were really, really excited. I spoke to Casey after the game. He's doing really well. He's really happy and all that. But if you guys are wondering what his role is going to be with the Iowa Cubbies at the moment, he is listed as backup catcher. So I don't know how many opportunities he's really going to get in the starting lineup. But in his at least 2026 Iowa Cubs debut, he went out, he performed, and he bammed it. So I was very, very excited to see that, and very proud of him as well, guys. You know, I kind of feel bad saying that, you know, going into spring training, I didn't think he was going to start the year in AAA Iowa. And the bad news about me saying that on the channel is Casey saw that and he showed it to a lot of guys in the locker room. But hey, he likes to prove me wrong. And at the end of the day, he did prove me wrong. And that's really the best thing about it. So, but yeah, guys, really special night. And all that. Too bad the Iowa Cubbies couldn't get a Jackie Robinson W, but they're right back at it tomorrow night in Columbus. All right, Chicago Cub baseball fans. I wish that I was going to talk about the Chicago Cubs in tonight's episode, but then when I got that call, it changed absolutely everything. But the great news is, well, actually, the great news for the Chicago Cubs on a hump day for Jackie Robinson Day is at least 2 things. Number 1, guys, Taylor McGregor. She got to take a little 4-wheeler ride pregame for tonight's ballgame with the Phillie Phanatic. And I really think that, you know what, call me crazy. But I think if there is anybody that is perfect to be a mate for Miss Taylor McGregor, this is the crazy. I think it's the Phillie Phanatic. And I am literally not lying, okay? I'm not lying at all, guys. It would be that could be a great book, on I don't know, magic and the game of baseball. I mean, you know what? When I see the Phanatic, the Phillie Phanatic, and how he interacts with the opposing team, it's really so awesome. And I absolutely love it. And so they're very exciting. But you know what? It was pregame tonight. That the Phanatic let Taylor McGregor ride the 4-wheeler. And if you don't know, when someone takes the Fanatic four-wheeler, it's never going to end well for that person. And I don't know if there's been anybody on the opposing team that the Fanatic has let ride the four-wheeler except Taylor McGregor. So, unfortunately for Boog Shambi, I don't think the Fanatic will let him or Jim Deshaies. You know what? I'm going to give a little advice to T-Mac, okay? T-Mac, I know you're probably not watching this, and even if you end up watching this, you'll think I'm crazy. But literally, your perfect mate is the Philly Fanatic, all right? He's not rude. He's very, very charming. He's one of the most, he's literally the Babe Ruth of mascots in MLB. And there's a lot of good mascots in MLB, but the Fanatic is definitely at the top of the list. And I think almost every baseball fan can actually agree on that, But I'm just saying, the Fanatic has its way. So, and you know what? I'll be very, very honest with you. You saw my testimony. Wait, I think it was 2 nights ago. Maybe it was last night. I testified that if I ever got a chance to go on the date with the Fanatic, it would be magical. I mean, it would. All right. So you guys have witnessed my testimony that I would go on a date with the Fanatic. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Mark it down. You guys, Chicago Cub, you, Team Nation, have just witnessed say that again. But congratulations to the Chicago Cubs. They get a win on Jackie Robinson Day, and they slaughtered the Philadelphia Phillies. So that was great, winning 2 out of 3 in the city of brotherly love, which you got to admit, it is not easy for opposing team in the city of brotherly love. But all right, everyone, that's a good place to stop tonight's episode. Make sure you drop a like down below if you enjoyed, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you don't subscribe to this channel and you are a Chicago Cub baseball fan, then you will be cursed. And if you don't believe me on that, ask Philly the Fanatic. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Wednesday and Hoop Day. And I will see you all right back here in the next episode. As always, go Cubs go. Oh, and thank you to the Philly Fanatic for giving Taylor McGregor a 3-game memorable time in Philly.